they come in and they have difficulties with one thing or another, whether it be behavior or social, and then over time you get to see them making strides, and it's really, really exciting when the goal that they're working on, they achieve. For instance, Jonah has goals with like reading, and he doesn't know how to read, and so we've been working on that, and he the other day said the word see, and that was one of his focus words, and it was really, really exciting. I remember just freaking out, just being like, oh my gosh, Jonah, this is so good, you did so good, and he was happy and I was happy. And you know, when I got him, he didn't really have much trust in me or anybody really, because he was brand new to the school. And so we worked on that, and he's warming up and he's saying hello to people in the hallways, and he's talking, and he's participating in things that he wasn't participating in originally, which was really, it's just been really exciting to see the growth and development.
In high school, I worked with some special ed kids that were high school age, and I loved them. I fell in love with working with special ed kids and just seeing them grow and develop. My passion has also been for younger children. I've always had a love for babies and seeing kids grow, and so when I came to BYU Idaho, I heard about their ECSE program, which allows me to do the best of both worlds. I can work with young children and children that have special needs. I love this job because I see miracles happen every single day. I get children that come from nonverbal, no movement, and with just a lot of time and effort and strategies, we can start to see that progress of them starting to say new words or make new sounds or start moving different body parts, and it's just incredible. I mean, every day is a blessing in here because I get to witness this. I get to be, you know, in the stands cheering for them, and they just make amazing improvement, and I'm just here to witness it all.
Children, the younger they are, the more that they are able to learn, and we have seen great improvements in children from when they first come into the preschool to when they exit. We often say, oh, I wish we would have videoed them and seen what they were like when they first came in, when they didn't have any words at all and they didn't know how to sit down, to when they're going off and they, you know, are talking or using sign language or have a picture schedule that they have figured out how to use. There's some amazing things that we've seen.
Sawyer is limited on his left side, and so he his hand is not very strong, and he cannot have a lot of control or strength in it. So a lot of the things we do in preschool is to strengthen that left side. Sawyer also is limited in his language abilities. He uses a communication device called the PEX on him, and so he has pictures that tell words, and so when he can't say a word to me, instead of becoming frustrated, he shows me a picture. And he says, you know, I want, you know, the coloring pages, or I want crayons, or whatever it may be. And then I can say, oh, you know, Sawyer wants to play with Play-Doh. Let's go get you Play-Doh. And so he doesn't become frustrated and angry. Another thing with Sawyer is they're just trying to build him socially to play with his peers by playing appropriately, not running up and grabbing a toy or pushing him down, just to play alongside a peer, contribute into play, and play safe. And he's doing fabulous. He's making amazing progress because we are all here for him and fighting for him.
Parents do have a difficult time accepting the fact that their children do have a disability. That is a hard pill to swallow for parents. You don't dream as a little child that you hope you grow up someday and have a disabled child. I don't know anybody who had that dream. And so it is a little bit of a dream-shattering experience when you have a child that's born with difficulties and you want everyone to accept them and love them as much as you do. In special education, the early childhood teachers especially kind of have a special place in their heart for those children that struggle, and they work really, really hard to make sure that they're loved and accepted, and that we find their strengths and we pull them out and we celebrate them and we accentuate them every single time we can, and we try to minimize those weaknesses and we try to help them overcome them so that they love school.
Early childhood special ed, what the certificate represents training that allows our students to serve what would be considered early childhood. So in some states that's just ages 3 to 5. In other states it's birth to 5. As well as children in special ed from kindergarten through 3rd grade, both regular ed and special ed. And so in some states those are all separate certificates. In the state of Idaho they've blended all that into one certificate. So they can come out ready to teach birth through 3rd grade, regular ed or special ed.
Everyone needs to be prepared to teach students with disabilities and make accommodations for students that struggle. Everyone has to be prepared for that. And so the more classes that teachers can take in an undergrad program, the more prepared they will be to deal with students that have mild to moderate disabilities, and those are going to be in your class in sometimes very vast numbers.
The thing that is the most difficult for a lot of, for anybody working in this field is the fact that you have to be able to distance your emotions when the child is getting out of hand. Jonah will escalate very, very quickly when he doesn't get his way, or when he's tired or he's hungry, and he'll start crying and he'll start screaming and he will start just throwing a temper tantrum. And it can be very, very stressful, especially since Jonah's he's a very big 2nd grader. And he's very, very physical in everything he does. He doesn't really know how to express himself, so the only way he knows how to express himself is through being physical, and sometimes that can either mean pulling your shirt or scratching or, punching something.
If I were to go and tell someone why to choose this degree, I would tell them that, it's not just you love kids or you like kids, it's you love kids and you want them to succeed in so many different ways.
And you need to be able to reach them so that they don't hate school, because school for them is hard and it's every day they have to struggle through school. And if you don't like to do something, typically you just don't do it. You think, yeah, I don't like to bowl, I just won't go bowling. No big deal, my life will be happy. Well, school's not an option. If you don't like to read, you don't like to write, you don't like to do math, you still have to get up every day and come to school. And the school expects you to have a good attitude about that. That's a difficult thing to do. So as a teacher, you really need to have as much experience with all the disabilities as possible so you can make school a positive experience for kids.
You get to change a life, and that's what teaching is all about, and that's what even more so special education is all about, is you are giving these kids the skill sets that they need to become successful in a world that kind of doesn't know if they can be successful. And I think that's the most exciting part, is that you get to change a life. You get to mold and shape someone into being the type of human being that wasn't easy for them to be at the beginning, that was always had the potential to be there. So it's almost like digging for diamonds, and you get to dig for diamonds every day with these children.
There are so many kids out there who need teachers like us and need to know that they are loved and that they're wanted and needed.